Lips. L has a script, and the writers never miss. Wake up, sheep. The truth is in your face, and the players know there ain't no telling, cause we all know loose lips sink ships.
Last season was a smash. Ratings gold. But this year's script has to top it. So welcome to the table read for the 104th season of the NFL.
What if we wrote the Mahomes character out of the script entirely?
Yes.
Guys, not cool. Who said that? She did.
You're an actor, Patrick. Act like one.
Boring. I say we run last year's script back. Who doesn't love a good sequel, right?
Nice.
But we're just gonna tweak the ending a little bit.
There we go. Write that down.
But whoa.
Me likey.
Vegas, baby!
Speaking of Super Bowl, let's skip to the last page. I've taken the liberty of writing something spectacular. Wait for it. Wait for it. And
NFL has a...
Coming on the air with breaking news, there has been a shooting at the parade celebrating the Super Bowl championship Kansas City Chiefs. We are getting reports that multiple people have been shot. It is still clearly an active situation. There is a large police presence there right now. Let's go right to Jesse Kirsch, who is in Kansas City. Jesse, what have you seen and heard?
Yeah, Lester, so police are telling us that shots have been fired around Union Station, which is behind me here. This is where the celebration was just wrapping up for the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to have our photographer pan over to the side here. You can see there is still an ambulance with the lights flashing. Our team was able to see at least one person on a stretcher from our vantage point, which is quite a ways back. And you can see there's still people milling about out here in red Chiefs gear, even though the crowd has been asked to go home. So just speaks to the fact that the broader public may not be realizing what has unfolded here. And we're going to pan over now to the other side of the train station. This is where we saw simultaneously fans in red gear running away from the train station. And at the same time, what appeared to be a group of police officers rushing into the area, some even jumping over the fencing. Again, all these barricades are up because of this parade. And we've also had out here, because of the size of the crowd, a heightened security presence. There's a team with at least binoculars right up here. And then I'm going to step out of the way. And you can see on top of that hotel over there, there's a team with a long gun on a tripod. And what we noticed is all of that was unfolding on the ground was one of the two people up there ran away from the corner, seemed to be grabbing something and bringing it back to the front. So we noticed this heightened security presence, and you can hear the sirens in the background. That's been going almost continuously throughout the last half hour or so as this has all been unfolding. And again, what you were looking at broadly here is the aftermath of the celebration for the back-to-back Super Bowl champs. And officials had expected, because of the weather, among other factors, that there could be around 1 million people out here in the downtown today along the parade route and around here for the rally. Certainly not all of them over here, but there were easily thousands of people, if not tens of thousands of people, in this immediate vicinity when this incident appears to have unfolded. And again, more broadly in the area, official Lester, potentially around 1 million people. At this point, it is mostly calm out here, but certainly you can see that these teams that have been on the rooftops are keeping a close eye on what is unfolding right around that train station, Lester.
Yeah, and we've seen some of the video that's come into us. We saw a woman a moment ago on a stretcher. We don't know her condition or what she experienced, but being taken obviously to an ambulance. Jesse, we also are hearing reports from police that 2 armed individuals were detained. Do we know anything more about that?
So I can tell you from where we are, we did not see anyone being arrested from all the way back here. And at this point, Lester, it is quite calm. We're not seeing anyone being moved around in handcuffs. We have just been able to see that one person on a stretcher so far from this vantage point. And again, there are just still many people out here who are walking around, and I can see off in the distance people all the way over there, Chris, if you can show it, people on a bridge continuing to stream out of here, as you would see after any major sporting event, let alone a parade of this size. And it just gives you an idea, Lester, of how many people are still in this area. And if they were in a position where they had to be running, it would have been quite difficult for them to make it away from this area in a quick timeline.
And put this in some time perspective for us. Did this occur at the end of the parade, and where was the parade in relation to the shot you were able to show us?
Yeah, so the festivities have been going on for a couple hours. Off in the distance back there, into the skyline, that's where the parade began around 11 a.m. local time, so that's about noon Eastern. It was about a 2-mile route that went down that way and then brought the team over here, and they rallied on the stage for about an hour. I would say about a quarter before 4 Eastern, that's when we saw the rally wrapping up and people started dispersing. And within minutes of the typical breakup of an event like that, we noticed that there were people who weren't walking out, but who were running away from the area off in that corner. Again, that's around that same time, Lester. So it's about 45 minutes or so within the last 40 minutes that we saw people running away, what appeared to be security or police personnel rushing in. And again, those teams on the rooftops suddenly became in a posture that, gave us the sense that something more serious was going on.
Yeah, and this all occurring at a celebration for the Chiefs over their Super Bowl win. Do we know, was their bus anywhere in sight of where the activity was occurring?
Yeah, so there were multiple buses involved with this parade, and what it looked like was going on is they were dropping the team off when they went on stage. We know that Union Station is a massive space. There's certainly plenty of space within there where the team could have been holding, trying to get out in the aftermath of the parade. But it appeared from what we could tell that the team was not on stage at the time that this happened. And again, Lester, it was going on as the rally had wrapped up and people were in larger numbers moving away. So clearly the crowd more broadly felt that the event had wrapped up at that point and were moving away. But the broader trickle out of fans did not change even after we started to see that up-close police activity. So it gives us the sense that people on the ground on this field behind us wouldn't have been hearing gunshots ringing out.
All right, Jesse Kershaw, I'm going to ask you to stand by as we continue to watch the activity, some of the video that's come in again.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, bro. I lift them the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever they may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit. This was a shooting that took place at the Kansas City Chiefs parade, Super Bowl parade, yesterday down at Union Station. And the first video I showed you was basically a video of the script. You know what I'm saying? A video of the script of how these players are really actors and how these scripts are already put together about who's a already preconceived winner of these particular franchise. Like, it's not by coincidence that they won, but in fact, it's part of a script. And even though the first video I showed you, they try to make it seem like it was like a satire and just like a joke, but reality, there is scripts, okay? And this is nothing more than part of the script, okay? Like I said it yesterday in my video, I said, I'm not going down there for the simple fact because I don't give a shit about this type of stuff. And second of all, something may go down, mass shooting and blackouts or something like that. Through the spirit had me to call it yesterday before it happened. And it went down, as, the spirit had called it. Because it's just obvious at this point, and this is why we tell you brothers, man, not to be going to these big, large crowds and any gatherings like that. You know what I'm saying? This is why we tell you brothers not to be in these big crowds, because things like this can happen, okay? Whether this was some type of psyop, which me personally, I believe it was a psyop because you had snipers and people already on the roof looking out for what's to go down. Now, you may say, well, they're just out there checking for safety precautions, but have you ever thought that it could have been one of those snipers that let off shots? But nobody's going to suspect the snipers because allegedly they're there for your safety. Okay, we know that it was a lot of rituals going on here. Okay, I noticed during a halftime show, they had the Alicia Keys and Usher. They did their little particular ritual. They showed that demon Ice Spice. They showed Taylor Swift, and when you pay attention to Ice Spice, she was throwing up the Baphomet sign. So it's no coincidence that this whole psyop took place, because at the end of the day, it's blood sacrifice. Now you could say it could have been just a random event, some wicked niggas getting into it with somebody and doing shit, because, Jake is good for doing stupid shit too. Okay, we ain't gonna take that out of the equation, but from what I heard they got 2 suspects. One was a Edomite, one was a Jake, but they had like masks with ski masks going. Okay, which shows you that it must have been something that was behind that motive of a shooting, because usually a mass shooting like that, like let's just say if it was a random event, just randomly, and it was just a bunch of wicked niggas, Jake ain't gonna go and plot something out and go do something. Jake just gonna do it on the fly. So if it was like some gang beef, they would have already had Jake in custody, and then they would have put his face on the news. They would have showed you who it was, but they didn't show you who these people were, to my knowledge, from what I've seen, because it was probably some psyop type shit. Okay, because why did these guys have on ski masks if they wasn't planning on doing this already? See, this is why you got to think between the boxes, man, because everything ain't what it seems. Like I said, and I've been to like big events, like, you know, prior to me coming to the truth, we had this thing called the Bud Billiken Parade in Chicago. When majority of the city, you got like 3 million people that's watching this big parade in different parts of the city. And I mean, it's a lot of people, and shootings go down all the time. And they have like a little after party that everybody kind of go to Washington Park and they kick it, you know, get on females, whatever they do. I was 17 years old and a brawl kicked off. You know what I'm saying? A random brawl kicked off, but that was a random brawl. And it was some niggas got to shooting because this is what Jake do. But that was just like a random event. You know what I'm saying? There's some gang beef or some mishap. But this seemed like it was already organized and staged. Okay, so in my opinion, I believe this was a psyop. I believe it was like some type of ritual. Because like I said, the Super Bowl itself was ritualistic, from the halftime shows to the particular gestures they were showing in the audience. It all made sense. In the back of my mind, I'm like, watch something go down. You know, because everybody was acting an ass. And this is why we tell you people out there, you people are too invested in folly. You know what I'm saying? Too invested in all this madness, man. When these, in fact, people that you're putting on a pedestal, these idols, who you call football players, they ain't gonna be there to bury your ass or give you the money to bury your family or your loved ones if shit go down like this. So it ain't even worth it at the end. Okay? See, check this out. It says, migrant team accused in Times Square attack on cops, robbery. So basically, you see how they showed his face. But basically, I don't think they showed the particular person they got in custody from this whole ordeal. You know, it says 11 children shot, woman killed, a Super Bowl Kansas City shooting. But it says here at least 1 killed, 21 wounded during victory parade. So you see, you have all these different stories. So they're able to spin the narratives, but we really don't know what happened. Okay, but nonetheless, this is, in my opinion, this is ritualistic. And this is why, hey, brother, stay away from this type shit. It ain't even worth it. All right, so anyway, let's get a couple of precepts. It's not going to be a long lesson. But this is the book of Proverbs 22:3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished, right? We hid ourselves from this event. Because me personally, yeah, you know, you had co-workers and stuff like, oh, you going to the parade? I'm like, no, I'm not going to that shit. You know what I'm saying? And if I did go down there, it was going to be to get into like particular festivities and around the area. Like, you know, they got like vendors and food and drinks and stuff like that. Folly, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I wasn't going down there to celebrate nobody winning, because for one thing, this is idolatry at the end of the day. You know, but you had a lot of people. They said over 1 million people were down there. Jakes, Edomites, okay, other nations, they down there celebrating the stage victory of the Kansas City Chiefs. And you got people really that believed in this shit, man. You know, I've seen a video with this one guy. He ran after this other guy because the Chiefs won. And I guess the guy that he was trying to beat up was a Chiefs fan. So dude ran up and broke the TV, busted it up and ran up on the other dude, the Chiefs fan. And the guys had to carry the nigga that ran up on the other guy. They had to carry him out of the house, man, because he was wilding out. Because he was overly invested in bread and circus, man. And I believe back in 2020 when they won the Super Bowl, I believe during the time of the parade, I believe some car drove through the crowd and ran a couple of people over, if I can remember. But they're like 3-time Super Bowl champions. They won 2020. I believe they lost the Super Bowl 2019. They made it because they're AFC champions. I believe they won an AFC like for fucking like the last couple of years straight. But I believe 2019, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't really keep up with the Chiefs like that. You know, I only watch it if like brothers or something like that may want to watch it or something where we go to a bar. But I think they won 2020. 2021, I think they made it, but they lost. And then 2022, I think they made it, but lost. But they won 23 and they won 24, which is this year. So regardless of it, man, it's all folly. But it says here, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple are passed on and are punished, right? And those people that went down there, they were simple as all hell. Because for one thing, like, you have to think, okay, this day and age, everybody is on edge. You know what I'm saying? Things are happening. Esau is passing legislation. And we already know Missouri has some of the laxest gun laws in the nation. I mean, literally, like, anybody out here can own a gun. You know what I'm saying? And they're very lax. So what I feel like Esau was doing, I feel like he wants to crack down on the gun legislation here because, you know, they're getting ready to establish their new world order, and they don't want any type of opposition regarding their new world order. So that could be one angle that they're doing it, you know. But overall, it's just a fucked up world we in, and this is why Yahweh Shai is going to bring judgment on it. Okay? 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage over us. We're not ignorant of his devices, right? As I showed the first video with this whole script manifesting and that they already chose the winner. Like, they already know who's going to win if we hear another year. They already know who the next Super Bowl is going to be. They're already writing the script. They're already rehearsing the script because it's just like a movie script, right? When you have a movie script, you go and you practice the script, okay? And you put it before the cameras, and then it's just like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you're a martial artist and you're to be a hero in the movie, what you're going to do, you're going to practice the script, okay? And you're going to practice the moves, and you're going to go off the playbook that's in the script. So therefore, when it comes to actually shoot the movie, you would have it already sold up and you would know what you got to do. So these plays that they do over and over again, they're rehearsed. Okay, they rehearse. Okay, let Pat Mahomes get a 60-yard touchdown, you know what I'm saying? Or let him throw it to Travis Kelce and get it on, on the return or the punt return or whatever you want to call it. They already rehearsed these things. And the whole NFL was in league with it, man. Okay, this ain't just some random event that they're just so good that they're just winning by coincidence. No, because these players are, in fact, professionals. They are that good. So that leaves to anybody winning the Super Bowl at random. You know, just like when Tom Brady won all those Super Bowls, that shit was in a script because Tom Brady was basically their poster boy. You see what I'm saying? So it's not real, okay? And this is what I be trying to stress to brothers at times that's really into that sports life, which is nothing wrong with watching sports, okay? It's cool, it's entertaining, but you have to be careful not to get caught up in that shit. Same thing with boxing, too. Sometimes, you know, because brothers in GMS, we love boxing. You know what I'm saying? So when we're watching boxing fights, you may be like Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford, or, you know, it may be, what's my man name? Benavidez or Canelo. And when you look at these guys, yeah, they're boxers. They're trained in the art of boxing. They know how to fight. But overall, these victories and their records, that's already set up. Like the whole Spence and Crawford thing, you know, that was already rigged from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Whatever ritual they had, I'm like, that was already set up for him to take that L anyway. You know, so sometimes you can't get caught up in the emotion of it because it will piss you off. Even going back into 1998, when Chicago Bulls won the playoffs, man, against the Utah Jazz in Game 6. Chicago went nuts, man. I was 12 years old when that happened. I didn't know if it was fake or not, you know what I'm saying? I just thought Michael Jordan was just that damn good that nobody can stop him. But overall, it's just all part of a script. That's why I say it's here. Lest Satan should get an advantage over us, we're not ignorant of his devices. It's all bread and circus, man. It's to keep the people engaged. Here it's entertaining, but hey, when you got the spirit of Yahweh Shai, you should be able to navigate through all these things. And this is why I'm glad that brothers didn't go down there yesterday because, like I said, that's screaming psyop, man. All right. Let's go from here to the book of Luke 12:49. Because lawlessness is getting ready to abound, man, and you're going to have more ordeal that's getting ready to take place on this planet Earth, man, because this is all part of the prophecy. Okay, this is the book of Luke 12:49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? That's right, man. Okay, so Yahweh Shai didn't come to send peace. Okay, he didn't send to sing Merry Christmas and all the other shit that you people teach. You know, you thought you was going to go down there and have a peaceful parade. Hell nah, man. Esau already had it out for what he wanted to do. Because like I said, it says 11 children injured. That ain't what they said yesterday. They just said 11 people were shot. One was dead. Okay, so how the hell 11 kids get shot out of a big ass crowd of people? You mean to tell me only 11 kids got shot? No, that seems like that's some witchcraft to me. You know, witchcraft. Idols. Idol appears in the Bible 94 to 95 times. All right, Deuteronomy 29-17 is actually a good one, but I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 13. Matter of fact, let's start at 12. It says that they should enter to the covenant with Yahweh thy power and to his oath, which Yahweh thy power make with thee this day. Now, this covenant was to the Israelites and still is. And there was a lot of Jakes down there, man. And it says that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee as a God, and as he said unto thee, and as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, unto Abraham, and to Isaac, and to Jacob, neither with you only do I make this covenant. It says, neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. So that proves that the covenant was only given to us. It says, but with him that standeth here with us this day before Yahweh our power, and also with him that is here with us this day. But it says, for ye know how we dwelt in the land of Egypt, and how we passed through the nations which ye passed by, and ye have seen their abominations, okay, and their idols, wood and stone, gold and silver, which were among them, okay, and that's the point. These are idols, man. These events, like the Greek god Hermes, you know, Dionysus, these other abominable figures, man, okay. Look up Greek god. Okay. And it says here, it says Hermes, an Olympian deity in ancient Greek religion and mythology, considered the herald of the gods. Okay. Yep, it says here, definition of Hermes, and they got different definitions of wealth, because they say here, trade, wealth, luck, fertility, animal husbandry, sleep, language, thieves, and travel. All right. Greek gods of bread and circus. Bread and circuses. Ancient Rome. And I'm just looking through some things here. Yep, see, it says here, it says, ancient Rome. The phrase originates from Rome and Satire X of Roman satirical poet Juvenal, which means the Latin panem in circuses, which means bread and circus, identifies the only remaining interest of a Roman populace that no longer cared for its historical birthright of political involvement. It says here, Juvenal displays his contempt for the declining heroism of contemporary Romans, using a range of different themes, including lust for power and desire for old age, and illustrated argument. But it says Juvenal here makes reference to the Roman practice of providing free weed to Roman citizens, as well as costly circus games and other forms of entertainment as means of gaining political power. See, at the end of the day, it's just folly, man. You know, Roman gods of bread and circuses. See what it says here. Yep, it says Roman rulers deliberately kept the populace in complacent and an inherent state by continually plying them with handouts of free food and lavish violent shows. Gladiator shows, you know, they would put Jake in these pits and, you know, they would beat each other, you know, to fucking death. And then, you know, sometimes you have Jake's fighting up against fucking tigers or saber-tooths or these particular animals, and they would just devour Jake. You know, same thing like a boxing match today. You watch people for 12 rounds try to knock each other out. You know, Yep. So this is all this. It's nothing new under the sun, man. It's all the same thing. It says here, and it says, and they have seen their abominations and their idols of wood and stone, silver and gold, which ye were among them, lest there should be among you man or woman or family or tribe, whose heart turneth away this day from Yahweh our power, to go and serve the gods of these nations, lest there should be among you a root that have buried gall and wormwood, and it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of my heart to add drunkenness to thirst. Yahweh will not spare him, but then the anger of the Lord and his jealousy shall smoke against that man, and all the curses that are written in his book shall lie upon him, and Yahweh should not blot out its name from under heaven, man. Okay, so that's the point. We're not supposed to be engaging in these particular festivities, man. Now, you know, you may say, all right, I want to go to a basketball game. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? You may want to go to a football game. That's fine. You may want to watch it. That's fine. Okay, but when you overly invested like these people, then shit like what happened yesterday can take place and you can get caught up in that judgment. Okay, it says here, and the Lord shall separate him into evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenant that are written in this book of the law. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you edify until the next lesson. Shalom.
Start clean with the power of Clorox. Because
you finally did it.
Happens.
Something that should have been a fun celebration had left Kansas City and the nation heartbroken.
What a scene that was. Many of the witnesses we spoke to in Kansas City told us they thought they were hearing fireworks when the gunshots went off. Fans who gathered in the city with their families were forced to shift into panic mode. One hospital, Children's Mercy, is treating 12 patients from the rally. 11 are children. 9 of the 12 have gunshot wounds.
At least one person we know was killed. Kansas City radio DJ Lisa Lopez Galvan. 3 people were detained, and police are still trying to piece together what happened. Alex Perez, who attended the Super Bowl parade, is there for us on the scene in Kansas City. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. You can see this is an active crime scene and investigators are still here. Now, the rally had just ended. Players were exiting the stage when suddenly the terrifying chaos began.
This morning, an investigation underway after a day of celebration turned deadly. Gunshots erupting in a crowd of nearly 1 million people outside Union Station in Kansas City. They're celebrating the Chiefs' Super Bowl win.
I need another EMS and red Chiefs tent on the west side of the stage on the grass area. I don't want to see no gunshots.
Such a joyous moment for the city and the bringing everyone together, and then in a split second, it's all ruined.
21 people shot, 1 person killed. The ordeal unfolding Wednesday afternoon, just as the Chiefs' victory rally was ending. Terrified fans running for their lives, jumping barriers.
I was standing watching the stage, and the shots were fired, and then everybody just started running.
All of a sudden, it sounded like fireworks, and we're like, oh, okay. And then my daughter yelled, get down, get down.
Roughly 800 members of law enforcement were present, all rushing to the scene as police snipers scanned the crowd from rooftops. That fatal victim, identified as Kansas City radio host Lisa Lopez Galvan, a local DJ and mother of 2.
Today in Kansas City was a day to celebrate. We woke up this morning excited, and the last thing we ever expected was to have a tragedy in our family.
Her brother, Beto Lopez, talking to GMA overnight.
This is another example of a real loving, real human whose life was taken tragically with a senseless act.
Police detaining 3 people of interest and recovering at least 1 firearm.
Right now we do not have a motive, but we are asking those who may potentially have any kind of information, a witness or video, to contact police.
And this morning, harrowing stories from brave bystanders, Paul Contreras and Trey Filter, seen in this video taking down a man believed to be a suspect as he fled the scene.
I didn't hesitate. It was just do it. So I went to go tackle him, and another gentleman did the same thing.
The heroes restraining that person until officers arrived. This video capturing officers subduing him.
I just feel we did what was the right thing, what we had to do.
Among those shot, several children, some as young as 6.
The one word I would just use to describe what we saw and how they felt when they came to us was fear.
The Chiefs confirming no players or staff were injured.
And the FBI is now working with local authorities on this, asking any bystanders who may have video of the incident to contact police. An exact motive remains under investigation.